So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can actually monetize your AI web SaaS application using Stripe. In our previous videos, we created a demo AI web application for summarizing websites using AI. And we then added authentication so our users could log in and sign up. And then we went into Stripe. We created all of our products and prices. We came up with our pricing model. And we also added a webhook destination. Well, now's the time we can put all of that together. We can go into our demo application and wire up Stripe so that users can actually see our products, subscribe to them, cancel them, update them, manage their plans, and everything. So there's a lot to do in this video, and we're going to use Codex to do just about all of it. And so yeah, let's dive in. Okay, so as I mentioned, there's a lot to do. We need to create our webhook handler. We need to be able to keep track of what plans users are on when they subscribe. So we need to do a lot in our database, create a lot of database tables to keep track of all of that. And we need to create a pricing table, and we've got to be able to have users be able to subscribe to a plan, change their plans, all of that. So there's a lot to do. And so let's use Codex. Well, I'm just gonna play a beta to be honest. We'll see what we do. But my goal is that I would like to try to parallelize as much as possible. So hopefully we'll have many threads working at once. Um, I don't know. There's pros and cons to that. The pros are it's faster. The cons are depending on how familiar you are with exactly what you're doing. Sometimes it's just better to have one thread do it because it's going to have all the context. So I'm going to do this. Now I've done this many times. That is setting up Stripe, but I'm going to try to approach this from if I've never done this before, or maybe I have like a little bit of context. And I'm going to try to get Codex to do as much as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to word vomit into Codex, explain to Codex what exactly we're doing and what I need it to do, and hopefully it will come up with a plan and then execute that plan. Now, I don't want to have y'all watch me type, so I am going to use the dictation. Uh, so I hope that's not confusing, but I'm going to go and click this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to again just kind of word vomit to Codex. I found that the AI is actually really great at disseminating even like badly communicated information as long as it has all of the information. So my experience with AI has been give it as much context as you can, even if it's not organized great. It if you leave stuff out, it won't ask you. But if you just put everything in there, it will usually end up figuring it out. So, all right, I'm going to talk to AI now. Whoopsies. Okay, there we go. All right, so we are going to now integrate Stripe into our application, and we want to let users be able to sign up for plans, update their plans, manage their plans, etc., and add. And we also need to add our webhook um, handler as well. So what we've done already is we've gone into Stripe. We've created 3 plans. They are called Starter, Pro, and Pro Plus. The starter plan was $9 a month, $90 a year. The Pro plan was $19 a month, $190 a year. And the Pro Plus plan was $29 a month, $290 a year. Let me know what you need from me in regards to those. I'm assuming you'll need the product IDs and price IDs. Just have those hard coded for now as a to do, and I can add those in later. And so how we want this to work is that if we also, sorry, we also want to offer a free plan, and our pricing model is going to be bucketed off credits. So we want a free plan to have, let's say, 10 credits a month. That is obviously not in Stripe. And then we will do our starter plan. We'll say 25 credits a month. Our Pro plan will be 100 credits a month, and our Pro Plus plan will be like 500 credits a month. A credit in this case is every time a website is summarized. Now, I know we will need to keep track of those credits. Don't worry about that now. We will do that in later on. Right now, we just want to let people subscribe and subscribe to a plan. And how I want this to work is if they are on a free plan, which is by default, they all users will be on a free plan if they're not on a Stripe paid plan. This would be a freemium model. What I want is that in the app bar, I want there to be an upgrade button that shows to the left of the user avatar if they're on the free plan. When you click that, that's going to open up a dialog with our pricing table. I also, when you click on the user avatar, I want there to be an option to upgrade as well. And then if you are on a paid plan, the main upgrade button that I just mentioned that's to the left of the avatar, that will not show. But then they will have menu items, buttons in that menu when you click on the avatar to manage their plan or upgrade their plan. Not entirely sure which options we need yet. Definitely managing the plan. More to come, more to details to come on that. But well, just for now, just put manage. You can just say billing. I don't know, and then pop open that same dialog that's going to have the pricing table. I want the pricing table to just look like a standard pricing table. It should just be, however much it was in a month, the monthly price, the yearly price, depending on if you have month or yearly selected. There should be a top segment button on top of the pricing table um, to show either monthly or yearly pricing. And when you click on subscribe a plan, it should just use your Stripe checkout billing session and send you to a URL to do that. If you already have a plan um, and you're upgrading or downgrading, then it should just happen automatically since we'll already have the credit card. If the, I guess we'll need a way for users to change their credit card if they're already subscribed to a plan. So in that case, we'll add a menu option in the avatar menu that will just go to your customer portal. So yeah, we need all of that done. And again, adding the webhook handler. So we've added the 5 or 6 standard events. Those events that we already added were uh, checkout.session.completed, customer.subscription.updated, customer.subscription.deleted, customer.subscription.created, invoice.paid, invoice.payment failed. On the customer.subscription.created, I went ahead and added that. I wasn't sure if we actually needed it though, but I can remove that if need be. So what I want you to do, don't start anything yet. Come up with a plan and tell me what exactly you need from me. Oh, also, I didn't mention, we're going to need to store this in Supabase. So I need you to create whatever tables. The ideal case is that you can just create all of this in Supabase for me by running the scripts, etc. So tell me what you need to be able to do that. If you can't, that's okay. Just give me the SQL and I can go paste it in there. But I'd really like you to be able to do that so I don't have to. So let me know what you need from me, what questions you have for me before getting started. Okay. So again, that was just a bunch of word vomit. We'll see what AI comes back with. What I hope is that it will either formulate a plan and or ask me a bunch of clarifying questions. But I think that's going to cover it. Like it's you know, AI should be able to do all of this without me. Um, and then hopefully it will be able just to also run all the database operations as well. Um, just makes it a lot easier. So while it's thinking, I do want to, yeah. So while it's doing this thing, I do want to just mention a few things. If whatever I said doesn't make sense, that's okay. You can, I gave it as much detail as I could. But if if a lot of that didn't make sense, like with the customer portal or anything like that, that's okay. Just tell AI and then tell them to ask you. for any clarifying questions. And you can kind of talk through it that way. Um, Also, I mentioned to create database tables. I'm going to mention this now, and I'll mention it later. Security is a big issue with Supabase. Like you want everything to be, you want to use row level security, RLS. I didn't mention it to AI. I will mention it, but I'm not going to focus on it too much in this video series. But it's really, long story short, is it's really important. And what I would do if this is a production application is create your agents file, which we haven't even done, and put something in there about always be checking RLS. And then the most important thing is add a bunch of automated unit tests to test your RLS. So RLS just means that since we're going to be using Supabase client side, which is something I didn't mention to AI, and I'll mention that as well. Um, the, you, you just want to make sure that you know users should only be able to access uh, rows in rows in the database for which they have access to. It's as simple as that. And to do that, you have to have row level security. And it's really important. Otherwise, you'll have users who log into your application who could then access other users' data. So, um, really important. So while this is thinking, I also want to mention, I mentioned to AI that like we're going to need to keep track of credits. That's going to be this whole other thing. I don't even want this AI to worry about it. And honestly, that's what I'll open up another thread and get it to work on that simultaneously because most of that will be completely separate. So they won't be stepping on each other's toes. All right, so it got back to me. Let's go through this real quickly. And I do not want to read this twice, so I'm just going to read through it and either answer any questions or make any comments. And so I'm going to go ahead and do the dictate. So again, everything I say from here on, it will be talking to the AI. So let's go. All right. So we came up with a plan. All that looks good. Add a small. So now, okay, AI is just telling me what it's doing. Actually, I'm going to stop the dictate until I actually have something to comment on. So I'm just going to skim this. It's just telling me what it's doing, and cool. Yeah, it looks great. Um, so it did tell me that customer.subscription.created should stay. So we're going to keep it. So what I need from me, what we need, yeah, 6 Stripe price IDs. Okay. So this, now I'm going to turn the dictate on and talk to the AI. Great. I can provide you with those 6 Stripe price IDs. I will paste that below this prompt in the order that you're asking for. Um, on your next bullet point, yes, exactly. Your recommend regarding upgrades and downgrades. Yes, your recommendations. That's perfect. We do not have a production URL. We are using ngrok to test. So yes, right now we are hosted at localhost 3000, but we're using ngrok. So I don't know which one you need. If you need my ngrok URL, just let me know. But yeah, right now we're at localhost 3000. We do not have a domain yet. So no, we're nothing to do there. Yes, the free tier should appear as a card in the pricing dialog. Great question. Um, uh, let's see. So there should my Supabase table should be blank. You might be seeing something because I did some testing before, but those tables should be blank. So if we have an auto-generated schema, it's just probably out of date. I deleted those tables manually, so the Supabase should be blank. All right. I do not need you. Great. All right. So I'm going to stop. It looked like everything was good. And then I told it I would paste in my price IDs. So what I'll do is, let's see what order. I think it's just, yeah, monthly, yearly, monthly, yearly. Okay. So let's go get those price IDs. So starter, pro, pro plus. This one's the starter. We will click on monthly and then yearly. Close out of that one. So you can get the price ID just from the URL. So that's my monthly one. Close out of that. That's my yearly. Close out of that. And now we'll do pro. This is monthly. This is yearly. Now pro plus. You'll do, whoops, I meant to close this one instead. It's okay. The monthly and then the yearly. All right, so hopefully it should get started now. Now, what I do want to mention is because I did some testing on this before I did this video, and so I've actually added a few different things to my environmental variables that I can show you exactly how to get that and that you'll need to add. And I expected AI to kind of ask me because I didn't think it could view my env.local file, but now that I think about it, it can load it into the environment. So yeah, it could actually do that. Okay, well, blah, blah, blah. I do not need ngrok. Yes, please begin. So it's going to go get everything. Now I'll show you um, what you need in your env.local file. So it's going to ask for, which I actually need to update. So one of the things it should ask for is it should ask for the webhook secret. And again, it didn't ask me now because I already have that. So that's one thing you'll need to get. You can go to webhooks and signing secret. So you would just click the I to reveal it, copy that. That's something that needs to go in your env.local. The other Stripe thing you'll need is your, I don't know what to call, secret key, I think. Damn, it just showed this. All right, well, uh, that wasn't great, but whatever. I will rotate this out. But yeah, your secret key is right here. It's a sandbox, so it doesn't really matter, but I'll still rotate it out. But yeah, you'll need to paste this in your env as well. Um, and I don't think you need the publishable key here, but yeah, here's all your keys if you need them. That should be all you need for Stripe. And then you'll need some stuff from Supabase as well. So I'm going to log in to the database we created. And it will, I know you'll need the URL. I think we've already put that in there though from the off video when we added that. You will need the connection string, which you can actually click on this connect button, click on direct, and you know, for some reason, the session pooler is the one that works best for me. But you'll copy this string. This is what you'll need to so that Supabase can actually, sorry, so that Codex can actually run operations on Supabase without you having to like go manually paste SQL and stuff like that. Um, and then anything else you need from Supabase will be, you can just go to project settings and API keys, and you can get all your other keys. It will need the secret key, I believe, as well. Maybe, or maybe just a publishable key. Now, all that said, I also forgot to mention a lot of preferences that I like that I've seen AI mess up on. And so I'm actually going to add more context while it's going. Hopefully it doesn't mess it up, but that's okay. So I forgot to mention, sorry, I'm going to stop that. I'm going to click the dictate button. So now I'm talking to AI. I wish I had some sort of indicator that you knew I was talking to AI, but I'm going to talk to AI now. So 1 second. I forgot to mention that for Supabase, we should be using, first of all, other than running operations directly on Supabase to create tables and stuff like that, we should always 100% be using the SDK for anything in our application. Always use the SDK. Also, use the client side SDK when we can, unless we're doing obviously server operations. Very important. Always use the SDK. Also, make sure that we're keeping in mind RLS security. When we're creating tables, make sure we're adding RLS security and everything is secure as needed. Okay, so I'm done talking to AI. I sent that to the AI, and that's because I've had experiences with when I put that when I give it access to write to the database directly. A lot of times it will use that to actually write to use operations in the application, which it should not. It should always use the SDK. Uh, so I just wanted to mention that, and also I didn't want it to like use server side SDK as well. Trying to think some other preferences I left out. Uh, I Yeah, it's okay. We won't get too much into architecture now. So all that said, I will. Let's think. I will pause the video here and then I'll come back. And that way, I'm debating whether to go ahead and do the credit stuff on the side to keep track of that. But yeah, let's just we'll let AI do its thing. I'm gonna pause. I'm not sure how long this will take, and then I'll come back when it's done, and we can maybe test it. We'll see. All right, it finished. I'm gonna fix my mic. Um, Did a lot. So what did it say? It said it implemented the billing foundation end to end. What a great sentence. Um, so it just said it did a bunch of stuff. What's left is your local webhook delivery. Oh, you know what? I also messed up something, but we can fix that. So in when we set up the webhook, I put just a straight ngrok URL, and that is not correct. It needs the URL slash the path. So let's go fix that real quick. I'm going to copy that slash API slash stripe slash webhook, and we will go to. There's my key in case you didn't see it last time. And edit destination. Boom. Okay. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. It like did a bunch of stuff and said it implemented end to end. Let's test it out. I'll be surprised if it works first shot, but let's see. I guess I need to log in. I don't. Thought I was already logged in. I think I did AndroidPoints.io and I think I did like a password 123 maybe. Maybe it was lowercase p. Okay, so I'm logged in. All right. Well, I got the upgrade button. That's cool. So I'm going to click that and hopefully see some plans. And this doesn't look bad. Um, doesn't look great, but that's okay. This video is not going to be about UX or UI. I hate that it included these summaries. Don't need that at all, but not going to worry about it right now. So let's see what happens when I click subscribe. Again, there's like no way this is gonna work the first time. I will be shocked, but oh man, this is looking pretty good though. So I'm gonna do pay by card, and we are in sandbox, so I can just do that 424242 number. Anything works for the expiration date as long as it's in the future. Um, any cardholder name, won't save it. What am I missing? I think any zip code works. Click subscribe. I'm kind of like, I mean, this is gonna be great if it gets it the first time, but I do want to, if it doesn't, like it's totally expected and understood, and so I think for y'all it'd probably be better if it doesn't work, so I can kind of show at least how I would handle these situations. But it's actually looking pretty good. So the other than this button keeps flashing, I don't know what's going on there, and it did not. Okay, so yeah, something's off because if it worked, I would have expected it to have this updated. Finalizing. All right, let me refresh one more time. Okay, so we actually got pretty far, but it didn't seem to work. Um, I'm just gonna word vomit to AI the main issue, what's going on, and I bet you it's gonna be pretty good. I bet you it'll fix it. And then I'm also gonna just tell it some minor stuff while I'm talking to it. So I'm going to put the dictate on, and I'm going to be talking to AI from here on out. All right, so I just tested it. Looked good at first glance. I clicked the upgrade button, saw the pricing dialog. I clicked subscribe to the starter plan, got directed to a Stripe um, checkout page. And then once I did all of that and I hit subscribe, I got navigated back to localhost, which was great. I got a billing equals success, and I saw a finalizing your subscription toast. But there was an error in the bottom left. I'm not sure what it was. And it doesn't seem like I'm actually on the plan because my upgrade button on the top right is still showing. Also, when I go to the pricing table, it doesn't show any indication that I'm actually subscribed to the starter plan. I'm not 100% sure if you added that in. If not, go ahead and do that. The pricing table should show me my current state. Um, well, I guess it does on the free plan. So yeah, I still think some on the free plan. So it got pretty far, it just didn't happen automatically. So that's the main issue. Can you look into that? Figure out what the issue is. If you are not 100% sure what the issue is, that's okay. Let me know. Ask me questions and tell me what you need from me to help further debug your issue. Also, just some minor cleanup stuff. On the pricing table, can you center the monthly and yearly segment button? Also, make those and the cards less rounded on the border radius. On the plans, remove uh, remove the description text that says like try the product with a small monthly bucket, and then the one credit is consumed for. We just need the price. You can put build monthly. You can keep that, and then you can keep the includes 10 credits a month. Just put 10 credits a month, 25 credits a month. That's it. Remove that other kind of text that's unnecessary. Um, and then also the other less minor-ish, but the upgrade button kept flashing. Like once I came back to the page, um, it just kept flashing, going in and out and in and out. I think there's a rendering issue there. That's the more minor stuff, but definitely please look at and primarily understand what's going on with why it didn't actually subscribe me to the plan, and let me know if you need anything. Okay, I'm done talking to AI now. Yeah, my experience with Codex has been actually great. So like I have a lot of confidence it will be able to fix this issue. What I've noticed with AI is that when there are bugs, and I usually add this to my agents file, I tell it I tell it unless it is like 1,000% sure it found the cause of the bug, do not fix anything. Because what I've learned is that um, AI will err on the side of just trying anything to fix a bug, even though it doesn't really know what's going on. Happens all the time, and to me, it's incredibly frustrating because what happens is that it's going to keep trying something, and you're like, no, that didn't work. Then it'll try something else. You're like, no, that didn't work. You try something else. No, it didn't work. And then you get all of this awful logic that it tried fixing something, and it never goes and cleans it up unless you tell it to. Incredibly frustrating. So when doing bugs, I always tell it just unless you 1,000% found the issue, just ask me. Because right now it doesn't have access to query Stripe, I don't think. So like I could have got maybe the webhook URL wrong. There could have been something wrong that the AI doesn't have context to, and unfortunately, it's not. My experience has been it's not just going to be like I don't know. It's going to try to fix something or put in this like a gross hack that super frustrating. Anywho, um, I'll let it spin and then I will come back once it's done and we'll see what happens. All right, looks like it got done. So let's see. The primary issue was not checkout itself. Stripe did not create the subscription successfully. No, Stripe did create it successfully, but your app never received any webhook events. Yeah, again, it's probably my fault. Billing webhook events was empty, so I fixed this in two ways. First, I added servers. You know, so it's saying the webhook didn't get hit. Again, I really dislike that it tried to fix it when that's not the issue. But whatever, I'll worry about that later. So yeah, saying the webhook didn't get hit. So what I can do is I can go into Stripe, the dashboard, and it definitely looks like the case because I've got failed 5. So I'm gonna go into event delivery. So I got a 400. No signatures were found missing. I know exactly what the issue is. The issue is that when I tested this before I did the video, I had a different webhook in and I did not switch out my um, secret keys. So I'm going to go into webhook. Wait. Go into my destination. Let me pause this real quick while I get my webhook secret. Okay. So I just copied my up-to-date webhook secret. I put that back in my env.local file, and so I think we're actually good. So what I'll get AI to do, so which is awesome because that means AI probably got all of this right, and like like the one thing I had to do I got wrong, which is insane. Definitely not gonna have a job much longer. Uh, okay, I think I see the issue. I forgot to update the webhook sign in secret, but I've updated that now. So I'm about to test again, but whatever fix you just put in, don't do that. Revert it. I don't know why you fixed something when the issue was something else. I appreciate the effort, but revert whatever fix you did. So that's what I told AI. I don't even know why I told it that. I probably could have saved the crap ton of tokens just by clicking undo. Um, let me just do that. I don't know why. So I'm just going to click undo. But what I'm going to tell it that no, actually, sorry, I'm going to reapply because we had other changes in there. So I'll just send that again. Yeah. Okay. So let's see what happens. I think I am decently confident it will work. Um, well, now that I mentioned that, I should, yeah, let me, the easy way to test this, I can just go, so I should have a customer in here. I do, AndreaPoints.io, and it should be, yep, so it actually worked. But what I'll do is let me go ahead and cancel this. So I don't have to create a new user. I'll say cancel immediately, and that should actually hit our webhook. So let's see what happens. Upgrade. Oh, it really messed up the segment button stuff. Worry about that later. Let me hit subscribe. Do the card. Put some random info and zip code, hit subscribe. Let's see what happens. Looks good. The upgrade button's not there. Man, wow. Feel good. Let me hit billing. Yeah, wow. Got current plan. So it knows what plan I'm on. So that's amazing. That's really great. Um, Let me click upgrade now. This should just have it automatically. That looked like it kind of worked too. That's awesome. Yeah, the UI is horrible. This AI really messed up the segment button. I don't like the UI. Definitely needs some cleaned up, but I'm not really worried about that for this video. So I'm just gonna stop it there because that's great. I think we we're good. Like we can test canceling. This will be end at renewal, which actually won't change anything right now. So scheduled, and yeah, this is awesome. I can even double check that by going into here, refreshing, and it should say like canceled. Yeah, cancels May 13th. Wow. Great job, AI. So this is awesome. Definitely going to leave on a good note. The next part of this, though, is we need to keep track of credits. So that's what we're going to do in the next video, and that is not as easy as you would think it is if you want it actually production ready. But we'll get AI to do it. Before I leave, I will mention a couple things. One thing is that so if this was a lot and this was confusing and you want an easier way to do this and you want an easier way to keep up with credits, which we're going to do in the next video. I've done this a bunch and I hate doing it even with AI. I actually have a product. It's called PriceOS. It makes all of this so much easier. You don't have to worry about webhooks. You don't have to worry about keeping up with credits and all these different states. It just, if you have an AI web SaaS application that, and you use Stripe and you have a bunch of features that are different between each plan, I have a product, again, it's called PriceOS, priceos.com. It makes all of this so much easier. Not only setting it up, but the real issue is that when you go to change features, so in 6 months, when I say, hey, I actually want to lower this to 15 credits a month, or bump it to 50 credits a month, that gets messy fast, even with AI. And PriceOS handles all that for you, and it keeps it automatically grandfathers in users, does a bunch of stuff. So sorry for the plug. Just wanted to throw that out there. But hope you found this video useful. And in the next video, we're going to do the credits, not with my product. We're going to do it with AI as if you were doing it from scratch. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.